get started. We go get it started now. Can't wait for people now. Carolina. All right. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of the Champ podcast, episode number 28. Topic for today is Does body count matter? So we'll go ahead and get started. This up in here right now. Like I said, make sure you leave a comment. Appreciate you for stopping by. So to start the podcast, so the question, does body count matter? Right. I feel like you have to kind of reframe this question, right? It depends on what you're looking for, realistically speaking. Um, because not everybody's looking for the same thing. I would say in some situations it matters, in some situations it doesn't matter, right? For a long term relationship, in my opinion, body count does matter. Now, if it's just going to be for a short term interaction, body count does not matter as much. If anything, body count might help. Um, with that being said, so not only does so like let's just say for example it does matter, right? For each gender that that is there, right? There's going to be a difference in if it matters, which there is a double standard. There's a double standard within this. And of course, I would love for there to be no double standard, but men and women are different. So with that being said, there's usually going to be differences shown within society and the way people react to certain things. So with that being said, this is one of those double standards. All right. So does body count matter for a woman? I would say, personally, it depends what it's for. But I would also say that within society, this is a societal observation. Women that usually have a higher body count or are seen as more promiscuous usually to have tend to have society look down upon them. So yeah, like I said, if I was a woman personally, I would not have a high body count just based off of the simple fact that to men, it could potentially lower your value, right? When given the opportunity for the same woman to choose the same woman, but the only thing that was different, let's just say two women, right? They're the exact same woman, right? One has let's say a body count of 3, and the other one has a body count of 100, or let's just say 50. It doesn't even matter anything above 50 realistically. We just go 50, right? The man, for the most part, is going to choose the woman that has the body count of 3. I would say an overwhelming amount of men. I cannot speak for every single man, but if given the same option of the same woman, right? For the most part, the man's going to choose a woman with a lower body count. Um, but I also see a trend of women that are actually pushing back against this as well, saying that it shouldn't matter, which I also do believe, which I see this in society, that I feel like men are a little bit more quiet about wanting women with low body counts. I feel like it's more women judging women. Um, like if she has a high body count, I feel like women put down other women with higher body counts. But I also see the same thing with the like I mentioned earlier, the movement that body count doesn't matter, do whatever you want to do, hot girl summer, all this type of information. But like I said, for the most part, I would say it definitely matters. Appreciate you for stopping by. Make sure you leave a comment. For a man, right? So does a man's body count matter? Does it matter? I would say depends on the quality of man. That's what I would say. If the man is of high quality and he has a high body count, society's not going to bat an eye. Now, if he has no body counts, maybe you might be concerned. If he has a body count of 0, maybe there's a red flag right there, right? And here's the thing with men and women difference in body count, right? A woman could easily, if you're let's just say you're an average looking woman, you can easily rack up a body count of 100 if you would like, and it would only take you maybe a few weeks, depending on how. Like I said, if you were like that, it wouldn't be that hard, right? If you were a guy, right, an average guy, and you want to get a body count of 100, it would take you a lifetime. It would take you a lifetime, and that's just the difference. So with that being said, men have to build themselves to the point where they can have sex. And I actually heard about the statistic that 1 in 3 men ages 18 to 24 are reporting sexless. They're incels. They're involuntarily celibate. Um, and maybe it's because they're lack. Maybe it's because of the way they look. Maybe it's because they don't have enough money. Whatever the issue is. Right? They have to bring something more to the table than a woman who's just average looking. Right? For the most part, women are definitely more selective in their mate choice, especially their sexual mate choice. So um, men, of course, are not really. They're not really when it comes to that for men. They're really less choosy. Like I said, for the most part, it's a lot harder to get sex if you're a man. So, like I said, they tend to have less standards. Let's just say that. Uh, but yeah, in my opinion, I would say the motives of either person. Let's just say you're in the dating marketplace right now, right? The motives from the other person's standpoint. Like I said, let's just say you meet a woman, right, and she has a body count of 10, right? The motives behind that need to be evaluated, right? If she was just, let's just say she was just trying to get over an ex and she just went crazy. I don't know. 10's not that crazy. Nowadays, 10's not that crazy. Let's just say she wanted to go crazy. Let's just say she got the 10 in like a month, or let's say 2 months, right? Now, that would determine a little bit, that would say a little bit more about the quality of woman you're dealing with, in my opinion. But in the same breath, let's just say she was, a certain age. And I feel like also age definitely plays a factor within if this matters or not. If she's, let's just say, 35 and has a body count of 10 versus, let's just say, 17 and have a body count of 10, or 18 and have a body count of 10, I think that's a completely different story. So age makes it age makes it more acceptable. That's what I will say. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you leave a comment. But I would say age definitely plays a factor within this. If you can determine if it actually matters or not. Like I said, if you're a man or a woman and have a body count of, let's just say, 15, but like you're, I don't know, 18 versus, I don't know, like 40, there's going to be a difference. And another thing that I also see in society is sex in itself is becoming a lot more, I would say, I wouldn't say normalized, but it's becoming a lot more like free, a lot more expressed, more than ever, I would say. And um, that has a hindering effect to society, in my opinion, because it shouldn't be. It's an energy exchange. You shouldn't exchange your energy with just anyone for just a temporary hedonistic pleasure, just to try to get it over with, right? You should never be having that paradigm within sex, because it also can, like I said, it could honestly ruin you, whether you're a man or a woman. If you are indulging within it, within multiple partners in a short period of time, it's definitely going to deteriorate your character, and that's through the observation that I've seen within society. But it definitely needs to be taken into account. Like I said, it's an energy exchange. So if you're just exchanging your energy with people that aren't worth your energy, it's going to be draining, and that's the last thing you need in this world, because this world's filled with a bunch of things that drain your energy, and that would just be another one that drains your physical energy, which should never be should never be a thing, especially if you can avoid it. Um, but like I said, the motives need to be taken into account. Um, and another thing I'll say is this, right? Going back to the woman, does a body count? Or does the body count matter for a woman, right? Another thing we need to take into account is the fact that women have more to risk, right? They bear more risk when it comes to just having sex in general, right? If one wrong move happens, she might have a kid, or she might have an STD, right? But like I said, those are some of the consequences that come with sex in general. But the woman takes on more risk because she's the more vulnerable person within that interaction, right? If you're a man and you get a girl pregnant, you could easily walk away from the situation. Um, I wouldn't say easily. I wouldn't say that actually, but you can get rid of this situation. I wouldn't say get rid of the situation. That sounds terrible. You could leave the situation to an extent and have less repercussions and have less of a burden on you than a woman. Like, so that's why it's there's more risk. There's more risk involved. So if you see a woman that has a high body count, she's willing to put herself more at risk. And now, if you're a man, you might want to evaluate that and say, do I want a person who's going to risk a bunch of different things, like I had mentioned earlier, for just superficial, short term, instant gratification, right? Is it worth it? Is that person worth it? Like I said, it says a lot about their character. And same with men. I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions within what brings a fulfillment to a man, which I'll be making a video about this on my second channel, Evolve to Inspire. It is one of the biggest misconceptions that having sex with multiple women is going to bring you fulfillment when in reality it doesn't. And I would say most men that have a large sexual access and indulge within that eventually get to the point where they're like, yeah, this is not all of what it was talked up to be, right? And it's because for the most part, women and men, they both long for a sexual interaction that is a meaning. And I wouldn't even feel any type of way if a girl judged a man based off of his body count. But like I had mentioned earlier, usually the man's going to be more, I would say more qualified, but he's going to bring more value to the table because, like I said, if a man has a high body count, let's just say, for example, a celebrity, right? Let's just say like an athlete, I don't know, whatever. They're going to have a higher body count than the average man for sure because they're going to have access to more women because of their status, maybe what they do, maybe the money, whatever it is, right? They're going to have more access. So women are definitely more willing to compromise about body count than men are. That is something I also have seen because, like I said, let's just say it's a Drake, right? If you're a woman, right, and I don't know Drake, Michael B. Jordan, I don't know LeBron James, even though he's married, somebody like that, Steph Curry, I don't know, he's married as well. But if somebody hit them up and they let's say at a body count of 200, are you really going to feel some type of way about that? It's Steph Curry, it's LeBron James, it's Michael B. Jordan, it's Drake, it's I don't know, right? Just add in a person that is of high status within society that is lusted after, right? More women are going to, a lot of women are just, even if it's future, right? They're just gonna be like, okay, well, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? But if you're a man, right, and let's just say a celebrity comes up to you and she has a body count of 100, there's going to be a lot more men that are going to be a little bit more weary of that situation. They're gonna definitely second guess it a lot more than a lot of women would. That is something that I see. So women are more likely to disregard if that has any value. If body count actually matters. That is something that I've seen through my point of view, right? And of course, with anything, there's exceptions to the rule. So I'm not speaking for every situation. I'm just saying that majority of the time it might happen a certain way. Um, but like I mentioned, women take on more risks, so a man is going to evaluate thoroughly based off of that one thing right there. And another thing is this, right? The reason why it's different, like I said, we're men and women are different. Period. Right? For women, um, if a woman can detach from sex, men can easily detach sex from emotion and things that actually matter. They can easily do it. Can women do it? Yes. Um, should women do it? I would say no. Um, just because if your woman could detach from sex, that is a hard pill to swallow because that is something that should be sacred. That is something that is the process of giving life. So it shouldn't be something that should be normalized or detached from because that is one of the most important things within society is reproduction, of course. So that's something you need to take into account as well. Also, something I wanted to mention is this. Um, like I mentioned earlier, it's an energy exchange, right? Are you are if do you want a person who's exchanged their energy with multiple people? Um, that is kind of a different type of question. With that could really disregard pretty much things that I mentioned earlier, but it should be taken into account. I think that should be taken into account. If you don't care, then you don't care. Fair enough. But there is, in my opinion, a difference, and if it matters, um, First, you gotta ask. So, like I said, if you ask the question, does body count matter? You're also going to have to ask, is this for a long term relationship, or is this for a short term interaction? Right. Like I said, the double standard exists within this, and I didn't make it that way. That is just what I observe. So can't get mad at me for calling it out because that's what I see. That's what I see. Um, with that being said, um, another thing I want to mention is this. I can't remember where I seen this study, but I could find it more than likely if I checked on it. Right, there is a correlation between, at least with women. Um, so another reason why your body count shouldn't be that high. There's a correlation between somebody did a study on this. I forget who, but there's a correlation between the number of people that you slept with and your ability to have a long-term relationship. And on the study, it said that the more, the higher the body count, the less likely she's able to maintain a relationship. And another thing I want to mention is also pair bonding as well. Um, a person who's dispersing their energy in multiple different ways to multiple different people are going to be less likely to be able to have that interaction mean more, and that is something, like I said, 100% needs to be taken into account. Um, that is another reason why men would prefer a woman that has a body count that is going to be lower. So take that into account as well, fellas. Um, but for men, I could definitely see women's point of view being like, "Oh, that's disgusting." That's reasonable because, like I said, majority of men don't have standards, or their standards are not very high. So I could definitely see that for sure. But just know that in order to even in order to even get sex as a man, you're going to need to at least bring something to the table. So, and some people would also say that women are just attracted to men that can court women. Period. And maybe that's what it would. That's maybe that would be the outcome of being able to be good. Whether that's, I don't know, have game, have charisma, whatever. Maybe that's just the result of that, right? But a woman's definitely gonna prefer a man that does have those aspects, like I said, game, charisma, I don't know, eye contact, social calibration, and so forth, than a man who has not had any experience on that. For the most part, at least in the short term, women are definitely going to prefer a man that definitely has experience than rather than doesn't have experience for sure. But that being said, give me 1 second. Also, something I'm going to mention, which I didn't mention it, which if you're watching this podcast back, you can obviously see the difference. I have a different layout, so I'll go ahead and show you the other ones. So I have this one right here. This is the starting soon one. Then I have the We Live one, which is this right here. Shout out to Emily. I forgot her name, but if you want something similar to this, I also got a logo revision, which you can see it right over here. New logo. It's pretty awesome, pretty awesome. If you want to know who made that for me, I can get you into contact with them. She did great work. So yeah, if you want a logo for something, just let me know and I can get you in contact with that person. Also for the update on getting the clips ready for this channel, I should have a few of them done by the end of this week. I want to say I'm gonna post them Friday before the podcast, hopefully. Um, I want to get maybe 2 or 3 different podcasts and make clips for them. I don't know which ones. The first one that I did is which one was it? I think it was Being in Denial. I'm pretty sure that was a good podcast. If you haven't watched that, make sure you watch that podcast. I can't remember what number it was, but Being in Denial of Reality, that was a great one. I talked about a bunch of different variety of topics, and there's definitely what I would like to deem viral moments in there because some of what I said is controversial, but I also back it up. And at the end of the day, it is my opinion. which I mentioned in that podcast. It's okay to have an opinion, and you should not be feeling some type of way because somebody has an opinion, because everybody has an opinion at the end of the day. And also, with having an opinion, not everybody's going to be able to say the right thing 100% of the time and have everybody agree with them and make everyone happy. That is one of the most unrealistic things. So, have the opinion, because not everybody's going to like it, but at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares? But going back to what I was saying, right? Does body count matter? Just gonna recap. Does body count matter? It depends on what you're looking for. I would also say it depends if you're a man or if you're a woman. And okay, for the most part, I'm gonna let you know right now. With this podcast, I'm usually gonna talk about the man and female dynamic because that is the most common dynamic that exists. So all the other things, all the other, I don't know, genders, whatever, I'm not going to be speaking on those. Those are what we call exceptions to the rule, exceptions to the outliers, rather. Nothing against them, nothing against them, but for the most part, I'm going to speak to what majority of the audience can relate with, which is the male and female dynamic for the most part. Um, but yeah, with that being said, it depends on what you're looking for. And um, if you're a man, body count probably is going to matter most of the time. I would say maybe like 90% of men really care, even if it's unconscious, about body count. The last thing you want is, I don't know, multiple people that you know that have slept with the woman that you're trying to talk to. That's not something that um, is going to turn on a man. That's for sure. That would do the complete opposite, turn them off completely. But let's just say a woman. I don't know if I don't know the way women work, but I could, depending on the quality of man, it might not matter if she knew somebody that also slept with that man. I don't know if it would matter or not. Like I said, I can't speak from the woman experience because obviously I'm not a woman, right? Um, but yeah, it just depends on, like I said, what you're looking for, and if you're a man and a woman, it's going to be different because they are different. It's hard to use the one size fits all on two different types of people, two different ways of thinking, two types of different experiences. So, um, in an idealistic world, we could talk about this and say, you know what, body count matters. Body count's the same with men and women, right? In an idealistic world, we could talk about that, but that's not exactly realistic. Like I mentioned, we're different, so we also value different things. And with that being said, men value a lot of men value um, a woman's uh, a woman's selectivity, or being very selective with their sexual partners. And women, on the other hand, value other things when it comes to what makes a man attractive. And usually, if that man is of higher status, then his body count's probably going to be higher. So, in turn, women don't really put that high of a value on it. Of course, like I said, there's exceptions to the rule. So there probably is some women that that is one of the things that they take into account because they don't want. Oh, okay, what's good? What's good, Ethan? I appreciate you for stopping by, my dog. Hold up, man. I've been summoned. Appreciate it, my dog. Appreciate it. Hold up. Why is this so small? Damn it, I fucked it up. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. The chat. Hold up. I forgot that even exists. Why the hell is that so small? Should I make it bigger? Go ahead and comment something just so I can see. I'm trying to make this bigger. Yeah, go ahead and comment. What's good, my man? I appreciate you for stopping by. So, just to recap, since I have some new people in here, does body count matter? It depends what you're looking for. We talking about body count today? Yes, sir. That is the move. I can't believe I can see it on there before I can see it on my actual chat. It's stupid. I don't ever want to see that again. Then I just hate that it goes away. But yeah, that is the topic for today, right? So what it comes down to is this: what are you looking for? Um, are you looking for a relationship, or are you looking for a short-term interaction? Right? If you're looking for a relationship, then it might matter. And if you're looking for a short term interaction, it probably is not going to matter that much because, if anything, the more experience, the better. And yeah, it's as simple as that, right? But with that being said, like I'd mentioned earlier in this podcast, there is a double standard within if this matters to men or if this matters to women, or if a woman has a high body count, if a man has a high body count, or if a man has a low body count and a woman has a low body count. This is a double standard within society for the most part, right? You have mixed reviews, of course, but I would say majority of it lies within if a woman has a high body count or is seen as openly more promiscuous, for the most part, they're looked down upon within society, called whatever name you would like to input. Right, a lot of women um, are looked down upon, but you also have that group of women that um, don't care. And if it doesn't matter for men, then it shouldn't matter for us. Which, hey, like I said, if that's what you think, man. If that's what you think, man, I'm not here to change your opinion, right? But so some people, some women embrace it, some people don't, right? But for the most part, men do care at the end of the day about body count. Most men. Um, like I mentioned earlier, if given the same exact woman, but the only thing that was different was her body count, for the most part, the man's going to choose the woman that has lower body count. So, with that being said, that is a dating strategy, right? If you're a woman and you're watching this, which probably is not often, but if you're a woman and watching this, if you have a lower body count, you might have better luck with men than if you had a higher body count. Simple as that. What's a good body count to stop at, man? However money it takes to find a great woman. That's it, man. That's it. Or a great man. At the end of the day, oh, okay. What do I say? This if I, my advice to men and women are different. Okay, so if you're a man, as many as it takes to find a high quality woman. For a woman, be very selective in who you actually have sex with. So keep your body count low. What's a good body count to stop at? That's a goofy question. That's the goofiest question ever. However many it takes, my dog. However many it takes to find a great woman, or depending on what you would like, however many it takes to find great women. I don't know, whatever. But for women, like I said, be very selective with who you choose to settle down with, because you should only be looking for high quality men. If you're not looking for high quality men, what the hell are you doing? You're lowering your value that men unconsciously have, or a lot of men unconsciously have. So you might as well not indulge within that because it's not going to reap you the most benefits. And also, one thing I want to mention. Give me 1 second. Another reason why men. Okay, for sure. Another reason why men put such a high value on body count is because take women bear the most risk within um, sex. So in the right or wrong circumstance, a woman gets pregnant. It might not be ideal for the situation. So, like I said, the woman she has the most risk. STDs, whatever. Women, for the most part, bear the most risk. If you're a man, you bear less risk because, let's just say, you get a woman pregnant. There is a way in where you can get out of it. Do I recommend getting out of it? No, I don't. If you have a kid, I would recommend you staying solid because we need solid fathers out here because society's lacking it, and we see the negative side effects of that. So, if you get a woman pregnant, make sure you stay with that woman and make sure you be a great father for that kid because we need it. But at the same time, it's easier for men to get out of it. Women bear the more risk. Simple as that. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you leave a comment if you're in here. Appreciate it, Ethan. Where was I at? Speaking about men's body count doesn't mean as much because if you're a high value man, then it might not matter. Let's just say if you are a 1% man and you have a body count of 100, women are attracted to 1% men regardless of what their body count is. So it's going to mean less to women. Does it matter? It matters less to women to answer that question. Because what makes a man attractive and what makes a woman attractive are two different things. What makes a woman attractive, in my opinion, in a lot of opinions of men, is how sexually selective they are or they're not. And what makes a woman attractive, or what attracts a woman, is going to be a plethora of things. Um, but yeah, of course, with a man, the same thing. There's going to be multiple things, but that happens to be one of the things. Like I said, it's going to mean less to women because the men that are going to be seen as more attractive, for the most part, on average, are going to have a higher body count than the average man, anyways. So, yeah. That being said, going into my next thing, sex should matter more in society, but obviously, sadly, it does not mean as much. And speaking about the summertime, got the hot girl summer coming up right now, so that's tough. That is big tough for these. If you're a man right now watching this, find a high quality woman because that's what you need. That's what you should be looking for in life. That is where you're going to have the most fulfillment in life. Don't be looking for these short term pleasures because they only last a few minutes. That's it. Um, with that being said, another thing I want to mention within men's body count and if it matters, um, it does matter, or it doesn't mean as much based off of the fact that sex is hard to get for men. For the most part, if you're a man, you're going to struggle with uh, having sex more than a woman is. If you're an average looking man, average looking woman, your sexual experience is going to be completely different. Completely different. Completely different. Right? If you're an average man, that's tough. That is tough. Hold on, let me read your comment. He don't even notice. Like, how you even know? How he don't even know? That's tough. That's tough, right? But here's the thing. That is one thing that attracts women is money, right? You can't blame it, man. It's if you understand why women choose men with money, um, you can't get mad at it, man. It is life, man. It is life. That's his fault for not noticing that, right? Another thing with having the woman that you choose in your life or having the man you choose in your life, evaluate the motives. Evaluate the motives. Are they there for you? Are they there for what you have? Do they really care about the person you are, or are they just looking for something more superficial, like money, like a body, like I don't know, whatever status? It doesn't matter, right? Evaluate the motives because, like I said, there's people, like Ethan had mentioned, that are there. That person's not there for the right reasons, and you should always be looking for the person that's going to be there for the right reasons. So yeah, we're going back to what I was saying. Sex is becoming meaningless in today's society and becoming something that's just normal, super. I wouldn't say normalized. I don't think that's the right word. Um, but just whatever. It's another thing, I guess. But that's not exactly great because that's something that should be valued within society. Yeah, you're all good, man. You're all good. Um, and at the end of the day, it is an energy exchange, so you should not be exchanging your energy with a low quality person, even if it's for the short term pleasure. It's not going to bring you the most fulfillment in life, and it's ultimately going to leave you drained. So be very selective. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure. Oh, fuck me. I want to get the poster in the back, but I also okay. That doesn't work, man. God damn it. Fine. Whatever. Next thing I wanted to talk about is. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna ask opinions. Appreciate you for stopping by. If you're in here, make sure you leave a comments. I'm about to go over all the topics once more. Give me 1 second. If you're in here right now, do you think body count matters? Yes or no? And what I'm gonna do, which I'm gonna start doing, I want to start doing polls. I don't know how I would do it on here specifically, but I want to start doing polls, whether it's before the podcast or whatever, on my social media platforms, just to see I can get just so I can get people's opinions, and that'll be something that I'm going to add within the format. Appreciate you for stopping by. Got a new logo, got a new layout, so hope you guys like the way it looks. It's, I wish I can add a little bit more to it, which I'm considering doing. I'm adding like a little top bar right here. But that we'll have that on the way very very soon. But if you're in here right now, appreciate you for stopping by. Like I said, make sure you leave a comment. Answer the question: do you think body count matters? Yes or no, and why not? And yeah, I want to get people's opinions, and I think for sure it matters to an extent, right? But ultimately, what really matters is is the um the motives for having the body count, right? If you're a person who's more selective, then you're probably better off. If you're a person who's not selective at all, has lower standards, depending on if you're a man or a woman, it might work in your favor or it might work against you. And of course, like I said earlier, this is a question that has that's a double standard, right? And it's hard to evaluate men and women the same if we're different. Of course, we're equal. Of course, we're different though. But at the same time, it's hard to judge. That's like judging a kangaroo and a whale on who can swim better, right? You should not do that. It's different, right? It's different. Of course, it's not that drastic. It's not that drastic. Let's be clear. But at the same time, it's different. It's different. So you shouldn't put the same standards on men and women. And of course, you can call it whatever you would like, label it whatever you would like. But at the end of the day, that is reality, right? So I also wanted to show some new sound effects that I got. Tell me what you think. So I got this one right here. That's a good one right there. Yeah, shout out to Big Sean. Why you feel so good? Why I need a reason, man. This one right here. Shout out to J. Cole. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't. Shout out to Anthony with the ZZ Top. Come on now. All right, next one. Shout out to Rick Ross. Got this one right here. Shout out to Draymond. Celtics in 6. Or actually, Warriors gonna lose. Warriors gonna lose, right? Warriors gonna win? That's for damn sure. Warriors gonna win? Nope. That's for damn sure. All right, I want to show you some other ones. I just added that one. What else we got? Gotta add that one as well. And which one? Shout out to Drewski. What do you mean by that? That's gonna be a good one right there. I'm about to hit Anthony with that one for the few time when he come on. Shout out to Dave Chappelle as well. I got some. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Ridiculous. I also got some. Excuse me. So yeah, those are the new ones I added. If you have any specific sound effects that you want me to add to the podcast, make sure you let me know. I can pretty much add anything that I would like. And coming soon is some sound effects that I said myself or my friend said. So yeah, coming very, very soon. But just to wrap it up one more time before I end the podcast off, does body count matter? The better question is, it depends on what you are looking for, right? With that being said, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, then for sure it should matter. Um, I had heard about this study, at least speaking for the way women work. Women that have a lower body count are more able to maintain a long term relationship. The higher the body count of a woman, the less likely she is to be able to keep a long term relationship. There is studies behind that. That is not my opinion. That is what I've heard a study exists. So, with that being said, that should be taken into account. Short term interactions, does body count matter? No, it doesn't matter. More experience, better. Um, is there a double standard within society? Of course there is. Just like most things with men and women, you're not going to be judged the same because there's obvious difference, and when you try to have any other opinion besides that, it kind of gets you get into a little murky water. You get into murky water if you have a differing opinion, but at the end of the day, we're different. Can't deny it. Simple. Another thing is, does it matter for women? What I will say is women with higher body counts and who are more promiscuous, or at least perceived more promiscuous, are looked down upon within society. But you also have that trend in society right now, as of recently, where it doesn't matter, or they try to play it off like it doesn't matter. But it is what it is, to each their own. But yeah. What I will say is if you're trying to attract the other gender, which I think that right there needs to be taken into account, right? Of course, it's like a personal thing, right? It's a personal thing at the end of the day. But if you're a woman and you're trying to attract the highest quality man, you shouldn't be just sleeping and you shouldn't just be sleeping around. If that's what you're trying to do, if you're just trying to live your life and don't really care about it, you know what? Sleep with as many men as you feel like. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to attract a high quality man, which majority of women are, what attracts those type of men? And something you'll come to the conclusion of is then body count 100% matters, and you would need to keep it as low as you can and be very selective of who you give your body to, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be exchanging your energy with garbage men, which many, many women do. All right. That being said, does men's body count, does it matter? I would say yes to an extent, but at the end of the day, it definitely matters less. At least that's societal. That's a societal view of it, right? And usually, it's a lot harder to get sex for men. So, with that being said, it's not going to mean as much to women. Exchanging energy is real, 100% facts. And that's what I'm saying, Bree. That's what I'm saying. So, with that being said, for men, it's going to matter less because if the right high value man comes up to you and you're a woman, right? You're probably not going to even give a damn about what his body count is, even if he exchanges energy with hundreds of women. If he's the right man, if he's really that guy, women are just going to look the other way for the most part. They're going to just, which is true, and I understand it. Hey, like okay, if the person is rare, then of course you're going to treat them differently. And same thing with a man, right? If the woman is rare, which in society what rare is now is a woman with a lower body count, you're obviously going to value that more. Same thing with women, right? You have a high status man. Let's just say a Drake, a Future, a Chris Brown, an athlete. I don't know who, Kelly Oubre, Steph Curry. I don't know, one of those dudes. Devin Booker. It doesn't matter. If they have a body count of 1,000, are you really gonna give a damn if he's giving you a chance? No way in hell you are. No way in hell you are. You're ridiculous. You're missing out because there's a lot more of women than there are of those type of individuals, those high quality individuals. So yeah, you're gonna have to make the sacrifice of just not caring. Like I said, does body count matter? Yes. Does it matter less in the regards of men? Definitely. Now, is it a double standard like I mentioned? Of course it is. But life's filled with double standards, and you can't judge two different things the same. That's not real life. You shouldn't be judging two different things in the same thing. You're gonna have failed expectations. So, that being said, at the end of the day, I feel like you should evaluate the person that you're talking to's sexual motives. Are they looking for short-term pleasure? Are they looking for something real? Are they looking for something that is going to last? Or like I said, is it just a one for the one time, right? Should always be that should matter, right? If you're a man looking for a woman, and let's just say she has a body count of 10, right? You know what? Hear her out. I feel like those women still need to be heard out. Um, but if you're a woman and a man has a high body count, um, definitely evaluate his motives and his character. And that could also say something. Like I said, for the most part, men have lower standards than women. So if he's just sleeping around with everybody, then that's probably not the best bet. Like I said, evaluate the motives of the person you're choosing. Obviously, like Bree had mentioned, um, there's going to be an energy exchange, and you should not be exchanging energy with shit people, because then you'll become a shit person, and that is not healthy. Sex being meaningless in today's society is going to be a downfall of society, in my opinion, or it's one of the downfalls rather. And another thing is women take on more risk than men within sex. So of course, if a woman has a high body count, it can say something about her character because she's willing to put herself more at risk. Like I said, whether it's having a kid, whether it's having STDs, whether it's whatever, right? Women take on more risk. They're the more vulnerable sex within that. That is not the way I designed it. That is the way it is, fellas. That is the way it is. So, like I said, if also, like I said, evaluate the motives. If the person is detached for a woman should, from in my opinion, like so this is my opinion, right? This is not society's opinion, right? There's no way a woman should be detached from sex. I feel like it's unhealthy. If you detach yourself from wanting an emotional bond in order to have sex, I feel like you're not in the right headspace. For a man, man can definitely um, detach from sex a little bit more. Like I said, it depends. If you like that or not, it depends on you, right? Depends on you. I'm not really gonna get into that too much, but like I said, it could say something about the character if they're able to detach. That being said, the last thing I'm gonna mention is this: when if a man has the choice between two different women, and let's just say they're the same woman, but there's two different women, right? If that makes any sense. If one has a low body count and one has a high body count, 99% of men are going to choose a woman with a lower body count. Simple as that. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the most part. I want to get you guys' opinions on this, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. But yeah, that is does the body count matter podcast for the most part. I'm trying to think of some other things that I forgot to mention. Hmm. Like I said, I just feel like the motives need to be evaluated for damn sure though, because like I said, a lot of people are not willing to even have the conversation um, about what is wanted within the interaction, which I think is just goofy in my opinion. Be very very upfront and clear, especially if they ask. Don't beat around the bush now. It's ridiculous. Give me 1 second. They like, why you feel so good? I'm like, why I need a reason? Facts. Um, but yeah, I'm about to end it off here in a second. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who stopped by for the podcast. If you're watching this, make sure you leave your opinion down in the comments, just so I can get multiple people's opinions. I will be talking about this on a future podcast as well with some people, because I just like to get people's inputs on this podcast. Which hopefully, I want to say Friday I should be having somebody on. So actually, I'll say it should be AJ and Anthony. So that is what I'm looking forward to. Um, but yeah, that should be very very soon on Friday, and then also this Saturday I'm also going to be having my oof. I might have my Saturday podcast. So stay tuned in for that as well. And then other things to mention later this week, I'm going to have my clips, and I already have my TikTok account for this podcast. So if you want to go ahead and follow me on there, it's just Life of a Champ podcast with my logo, new revised logo, as well with also the new logo. I have the new format for the podcast right here is the starting soon screen. Also got the live right here. Obviously, you see the new border, so I appreciate the person who made that. If you want to get into contact and get your own logo created, make sure you text me, and then I'll go ahead and put you into contact with that person. But yeah, for the most part, does body count matter? It depends on what you're looking for, and it also depends on if you are a man or if you're a woman. That is the harsh reality of life. To say that you know what, one size fits all. You know what, we're the same. No, we're not. We're not the same. I'm sorry. You know that. You know that damn well. We're not the same. So that's just my opinion, though. It sucks, but I didn't create it this way. I didn't create it this way, fellas. I just don't hate the messenger. I'm just hate the message. Okay, don't hate me. I didn't do anything. I'm just talking about it. That's it. I'm just talking about it. But yeah, like I said, Saturday podcast. Also Friday podcast gonna have Anthony and AJ on hopefully. And I should have the next future podcast should also have some more people on as well, which just trying to get some scheduling figured out. But I definitely will be having people on the podcast very very soon. Interesting conversations upcoming for damn sure. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. All right. I'm about to end it out here in a second. I'll make sure I got everything. Yeah, I write down majority of the topics as well. And if there's a specific topic you want me to talk about on a podcast, make sure you also go ahead and text me or tell me in person whatever you got to do. I will cover. I might cover the topic. I might not. But it's worth an ask. If you have appreciate that, Bree. I don't know why the hell that pops up so small, dude. That shit's weird. I can make it bigger, maybe. Fuck. That looks better, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. I have to mess with it. But I appreciate the input on the logo. Um, yeah. Also, one thing I want to shout out before the end of the podcast. I just posted my second video on my Evolve to Inspire YouTube channel. So if you do want to tap in with that, make sure you subscribe to that channel. Also turn on the post notifications. And also, if you don't have the post notifications turned on for this channel, make sure you turn that on as well. Like I said, I go live every Wednesday and Friday around 7 o'clock. And also this Saturday, hopefully, I will be having a podcast where I just listen to music and just chill. It won't be for that long, but I'll be. It'll probably be around maybe like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Who knows yet? I don't know yet. But yeah. Yeah. My last, just to wrap it up, right? Don't be exchanging your energy with just anyone. A lot of people have shit energy. Do not be exchanging your energy with shit people ever in life. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. Never exchange your energy. Your energy is too precious to be exchanging it with people that are shit. Simple. And I'll leave you guys off with one more piece of advice. Just give me 1 second to think about it. Um, before Friday, I want you guys to do something for me. I want you to give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm thinking about it. If you can, make sure you for the up until Friday, make sure you compliment people. I feel like people are not giving out enough compliments nowadays. So make sure you go ahead and compliment people, appreciate them, show your appreciation for people because at the end of the day, people love to um, get hear themselves get appreciated. So make sure you appreciate people. Yeah, you somewhat exchange mixed energies with friends. Imagine the act of sex, that crazy exchange. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. It's different. It's just it's different. Like so, you gotta be choosy. You gotta be choosy. Like I mentioned though, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate everyone for stopping by. Um, like I said, TikToks and Reels and Shorts on the way. Also got a new logo, sound effects coming on the way as well. And like I mentioned before I ended off, I just posted my second video on my Evolve to Inspire YouTube channel. The full to the master transformation. My bad. And it is called. What is it called? I knew it was something funny. Um, oh, here's why you suck. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Here I said here's why it's okay to suck. That's the video. So if you want to get your mindset leveled up, make sure you follow that podcast because that podcast is going to be where I'm giving the most game for the self development. Um, I will be talking about self development on here always as well because it is just a part of my character. And that is Life of a Champ podcast at the end of the day. But that main YouTube channel is gonna be based on all self development. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And like I said, make sure you give out compliments because people need compliments. All right.